Hey guys, it's Mr. Kissinger with the Citizenship Academy in Syracuse, New York. This is 5th grade math module 3, and we're going to be working on a topic that's covered in both lessons 13 and 14 today. We're going to be strategizing to solve multi-term problems. So rather than using that like standard algorithm, we're going to be using strategy to solve some of these problems involving fractions. So our first part here tells us to rearrange the terms so that you can add or subtract mentally, then solve. So if we look at letter A here, it says 1/4 plus 2 2/3 plus 7/4 plus 1/3. So we're going to use our associative property, and we're going to change the order of those around so that fractions with like denominators are next to each other. So I'm going to do 1/4, I'll keep that there, plus 7/4, who has the same denominator, plus 2 2/3 plus 1/3. And I know that 1/4 plus 7/4 is 8/4. And 2 2/3 plus 1/3 is 3. 2 2/3, add one more third, you have 2 3/3, and 3/3 is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Next, we're going to add 8/4 plus 3. Well, 8/4 is really what? It's really 2. 8 divided by 4. Remember, fractions are division. So if we look at our numerator and we can divide it by our denominator, it would be 2. Two plus 3 equals 5. 5 is our answer. So we didn't have to really find any like denominators there. We didn't have to change any of our fractions or find equivalent fractions. We can kind of just use mental math to figure out our answer. And that's what we're going to be doing with these this series of problems here. So on letter B, we have 2 3/5 minus 3/4 plus 2/5. So when we can use the associative property here, but we have to be really careful. We can't just switch these two numbers around and keep the signs where they are. The sign before your fraction or before your number has to come with it. So it still has to, when a problem is done, it still has to be minus 3/4 and plus 2/5. The way we'll do that is we'll do 2 3/5. So we have 2 3/5. And we're going to do plus 2/5 minus 3/4. So now we can add 2 3/5 plus 2/5. Well, we get 2 5/5, which is really 2 plus 1, which is 3, minus 3/4. So we're doing this first, and then we'll do 3 minus 3/4 after. If we subtract 3/4 from 3, well, 3 is the same. We already know 3 would be 2 4/4. Well, if we take away 3/4, we'll have 2 1/4 left. 2 1/4 plus 3/4 would equal 3. All right, we'll do one more of these. Letter C says 4 3/7 minus 3/4 minus 2 1/4 minus 3/7. So let's put our like denominators near each other. So we'll do 4 3/7 minus 3/7 minus 2 1/4 minus 3/4. All right, so We have 4 3/7 minus 3/7. Well, this is 4. 4 minus 2 1/4. Well, 2 1/4 plus 1 3/4 would give us 4. So minus 2 1/4 minus 3/4. So this here would give us 1 3/4 minus 3/4 equals 1. 1 would be our answer. Now, this might not be so easy to leap from 4 minus 2 1/4 to 3/4. I might draw a number line there to help me. So I could do, 4 is here, and 2 1/4 is here. If I go back from 4 to 3, so I jump 1, and now I'm at 3. To get from 3 to 2 1/4, well, 3 is 2 4/4. I have to go back 3/4 to get to there. And that's how I get 1 3/4. All right, so let's move on to something a little bit different. There's number 2 here. It says fill in the blank to make the statement true. 11 2/5 minus 3 2/3 minus 11/3 equals. So we have 11 2/5 minus 3 2/3 minus 11 1/3. Or 11/3. So really I want to subtract all of this. This is the same as saying 11 2/5 minus 3 2/3 minus 11 1/3 or 11/3. That's the same as saying 11 2/5 minus the sum of these two, 3 2/3 plus 11 11/3. Because I'm subtracting all of this. If I subtract one and then the other, I'm really subtracting the sum of those two numbers there. I know 11/3, if I want to make this into a mixed number, 11/3, well, 9/3 would be 3, plus 2 more thirds. So now I have 3 2/3 plus 3 2/3, which is going to give me 6 4/3. So I have 11 2/5 minus 6 4/3. I know 6 4/3 is 7 1/3, because 3/3 is 1. I have 11 2/5 minus 7 1/3. So I have to find a like denominator there. It's going to be 15. 5 times 3 gives me 15. 2 times 3 gives me 6. 3 times 5 equals 15. 1 times 5 equals 5. So I have 11 and 6/15 minus 7 and 5/15. 11 minus 7 is 4. 6/15 minus 5/15 is 1/15. Now, what if my numbers, the number that I'm looking for, is not beyond the equal sign here? What if I know what my equals is? This equation is going to equal 15, but I need to find out what this part is here. So I have 11 7/8 plus 3 1/5 minus a number is 15. So what I'll do is I'm going to add these together first. So I'm going to find a common denominator between those two. And I have 5 and I have 8. My common denominator will be 40. So I need to multiply 8 by 5, 5 by 8, 7 by 5, and 1 by 8. So I'll have 11 and 35/40 plus 3 and 8/40 minus something equals 15. If I add these together, I'll end up with, well, 11 and 3 is 14. 35/40 and 8/40 will give me 43/40. And I know that that's going to be 15 and 3/40 minus what equals 15. Well, 15 and 3/40 minus what is going to give me 15. If I take away this part here, minus the 3/40, I'll get 15. So my answer is 3/40. All right, and then we're going to do a real quick word problem. D'Angelo needs 100 pounds of garden soil to landscape a building. In the company's storage area, he finds 2 cases holding 24 3/4 pounds of garden soil each, and a third case holding 19 3/8 pounds. How much gardening soil does D'Angelo still need in order to do the job? So for this word problem, I'm going to end up using both a tape diagram and a number line. First, I'm going to use a tape diagram because I know this whole thing is going to be 100 pounds. This is how much he needs altogether. He needs 100 pounds. Let's go over how much he has. He has 2 cases of 24 3/4 pounds each. So I need 2 of those. And then he also has a third case that's 19 3/8 pounds. And we need to find out how much more he needs. So first, I'll need to add up all of these together and then subtract from 100. So first, I'm going to do 24 3/4 plus 24 3/4 plus 19 3/8. Now to make things easy, I'm going to find a common denominator between the three of those. And I only need to change these fourths to eighths because this can stay eighths. 8 is a common denominator between 4 and 8. So instead of 3/4, this is going to be 6/8 because we're going to multiply by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. 24 and 6/8 plus 24 and 6/8 plus 19 and 3/8. First, I'll add all my whole numbers together. I'm going to have 24 plus 24 is 48, plus 19 is 67. And I'm going to add my fractions. I have 6/8 plus 6/8 plus 3/8. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 3 is 15. I have 15/8. Well, 15/8 is 8/8 plus 7/8. So we're going to have one more whole number, 68, and 7/8. And he needs 100 pounds altogether. So now I'm going to draw a number line. And I have 100. Over here I have 68 and 7/8. To get to my next whole number, I need to go 1/8. That'll give me to 69. And then I'm going to I'll go one more. Now I get to 70. You could jump to whatever number you'd like at that point. But I think from 70 to 100 is easy for me to make the jump the rest of the way. I know that 70 plus 30 is 100. So now I just need to add these up. I have 30 plus 1 plus 1/8. And I'm going to get 31 and 1/8. And that's in pounds. Now I need to write my answer in a sentence form. D'Angelo needs 31 and 1/8 pounds more to do the job. So that's all we'll have time for today. Thank you guys for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.